Well, good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It is the week before Christmas, and I guess you would say this is your latter part of the midweek minutes. There were a lot of things going on in the last 48 hours or so that were kind of fluid and uncertain, and I wanted to give you as much information and specific details as I could as I reached out to you this week. There are a couple of housekeeping things just to bring to your attention. A great big thank you that I want to share, and then some further information about things going on in my life. Well, first of all, the housekeeping. I want to remind you that as we come into the Christmas season, as is our custom, the church office will be closed from December 24th, that's Christmas Eve, that's a week from today, through the New Year's weekend. Normal operating hours will be from 9 to noon, resuming on Monday, January the 4th. So essentially the week between Christmas and New Year's, in addition, of course, to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the office will be shut down. We will still be receiving and monitoring both the mail, emails, as well as phone messages. So please feel free to reach out to us through those standard ways if you need to, and we'll respond accordingly. I also want to let you know that the other housekeeping matter is the fact that our 2021 offering envelopes are now available. I picked up my box, and you can do that too in a couple of different ways. Over the next few Sundays, they are available to be picked up. For those of you who have begun doing the regathering with us, they'll be available on Sundays to pick up. Since you're here, go ahead and grab yours. Also, if you happen to come by the office, don't get out just for this trip. But if you're by here and have yet to pick them up, we've already had a few people do that. You can pick those up. And to make it easier really for both of those opportunities, we have them placed in alphabetical order on the table in the church library. Now that makes it easy for those who want to come by during the week, dropping off things and so forth, and you can pick that up. Also on Sunday mornings, typically where we have them in the foyer, because of the way we have to dismiss and the way we have to come in that tighter spot of gathering, we're going to encourage you, sorry for that slight inconvenience, but if you're here on Sundays and want to pick it up over the next few weeks, you can make your way down to the church library right across from the church office, if you didn't know where that was, on the main floor ground level. And it's there on that table in alphabetical order. If you need yours delivered, for those of you who might, whether it be the weather or COVID concerns or other matters that have kept you in over these last months and maybe tend to do so as we come into the winter months, we'll be glad to get them to you. We can drop them in the mail. Particularly if you live close, though, we have those who are ready to make a visit, to drop them off on the porch or whatever would work best for you. And know that they'll be available in that fashion really through the first part of the year. We have people that pick it up, the middle part of January, and that's fine too. Now, for those of you who already have envelopes, you are automatically, you may or may not have the same number. I think most of you will, but you have, it's already there for you. If you are a part of our church family, whether you're a member or just an active attender and participant, and you've been giving but you don't have an envelope to use and you would like one, you can reach out to the church office. Just send us an email. You can respond to this one. You can send us a direct email, phone message, and we'll be glad to get you a box of envelopes. It is a way for us on the receiving end to manage your giving record. No one sees that except our administrative staff. I don't. And then, of course, we have a counting team that will see names and amounts and things like that, but they're certainly of the highest integrity. But if you want to be a part of the giving, and maybe you have, and you've put a check in an envelope, dropped it in the mail, or dropped it in an offering plate in days past, and would like an offering envelope to be a part of that system, it helps us with the end of the year giving record. It really is helps us with the data, and just able to print that up and get that to you for tax purposes if you need. So if you are a consistent giver and you don't have the pink envelopes, they're pink again, and would like some, please just let us know. Also, along that line, I want to say thank you. And I speak on behalf of our church treasurer, Chuck Martin. I speak for the entire finance committee, Charlotte McComas, who's chair of that group, as well as our church staff and our church leadership. We have been amazed. It's been encouraging. It's been a blessing to see how faithful our church has responded in giving and remaining consistent in giving, even through the pandemic, as we have had to not shut down. The church hasn't closed up, but as we've had to begin doing things in a different way. It's been a blessing to know that you've been so faithful. And so because of that, we want to say thank you. And because of that, things financially look to be very strong for the days to come. We will provide for you at any time that you wish a monthly, even financial report. You can reach out either to our church treasurer or to the office, and that's provided, and we can send you a copy digitally or print one up for you. Of course, now we're about halfway through our fiscal year, but we are towards the end of, obviously, the 2020 calendar year. And as I speak of that aspect from essentially the last 10 months when we've been in this pandemic, your giving and your faithfulness has just been overwhelming, even when we've had to make appeals for special needs. And one of the things that 2020 has taught us is that we can continue to minister and continue to do things in a different way based on what circumstances have come before us. And you were so faithful. We were able to minister to 12 families and provide a wonderful, wonderful meal and extras, for that matter, for the Thanksgiving week. And because of your faithfulness, both in that endeavor and since, we have an opportunity to minister now to 13 families. That's right. We had an extra couple of families come into our sense of awareness and understanding that there was a need. And so we had some of our social worker connections reach out to us and say, is there any way you can help these other couple of families? There's some specific needs there. And because of your faithfulness and your giving and your wonderful generosity, we were able to do so. So we have 13 families that we will be providing a Christmas meal for, as well as of those 13 families, there are 32 children. And this is what they're going to get. Let me show you. I've got one sample. This was one for a little girl age 11. Every one of the children in those families is school-age children. We're not hitting the college kids, that kind of thing. There is a stocking, much like this one, has several different designs, but the same size and the same structure, and it's full. It's ready to go. And that stocking will contain all the goodies and treats of the season, some stocking stuffer surprises, and most importantly, actually a $75 gift card for that child to use either before Christmas to go get that special thing they might want, or afterwards, maybe to take their time shopping. But we want to give them that opportunity. And so we're providing a gift card for a local grocery store to each of the families in an amount that would cover their Christmas dinner. We're not doing all the shopping for the food itself like we did at Thanksgiving. We're going to make it easier on ourselves and a little more flexible for them during this busy year. So each of the families will have an opportunity to use that gift card for a nice Christmas meal and all the trimmings. And then each of the school-age children, 32 in all, will each have a stocking with tailored gift stocking stuffers and treats for their age, whether it's a boy or a girl, and each one of them getting a $75 gift card that will allow them to purchase a special gift that they want. They're actually going to be picking those up. Each family, we have asked, unlike Thanksgiving, instead of an option for us to deliver, something we did because we had, quite a heavy order for some of them, and we wanted to make that offer. This is a little more simple. It's the stockings, maybe 3 or 4 per family, and the gift card. And so from noon to 1, this coming Sunday, that's Sunday the 20th, They will be coming by the church. We have a team ready to do that distribution. It'll be what I call Chick-fil-A style. It'll be drive up, as we'll be masked and we'll be safe and secure, like we're required to be. But if you would like to be a part of that, you can stick around after church or show up around noon and just ask, say, hey, how can I help? But we've got it covered, we think, with our team and our volunteers. With this way, we think it should go pretty smoothly. And we'll demonstrate some of that again on Sunday and just pray that the Lord blesses this endeavor of both outreach and ministry to these families in our community. These are our neighbors, and this is, well, something Jesus said we should do, to love our neighbors as ourselves. And we can do that because of your wonderful generosity, and it's such a blessing. The chances are, if 2020 had not hit us the way it did, and for the church having to maybe scale back some of our social things and our gatherings, as hurtful as that is, and we hate that, we all still do, it allowed us to think, okay, well, what do we do with that resource of our energies and even our finances to actually turn some of that ministry outward and to bring people into that fellowship, or to know, give them a taste of what that is to be a part of a community that loves one another. And you've helped us do that. So I can't say thank you enough, both for the Thanksgiving endeavor as well as the Christmas thing. And it was so nice for our team to be able to say to the social workers at the schools, we can handle that. We can take that extra family because of your generosity. Well, I've mentioned 2020, and we have about 2 weeks left. And there's a lot that's been going on this year. And for many of us, it has been a very difficult year. I shared with you a beautiful story and a message. It was the first message that I delivered when I came back after my mom's death. It was a story of my aunt. My Aunt Betty, my mom's only sister, never liked to say goodbye, whether she was driving off or we were driving off, growing up and through the years, or talking on the telephone. She never liked to say bye or goodbye. She would always say, talk to you soon, see you later, that kind of thing. She never liked that sense of shutting the door. And that was just always part of who she was. And she took that right up to the moment where we were going to close my mom's casket, and we were there right before the service started, as small and brief as it was, there a few weeks ago. And she said, Patsy, this is what I shared with you a few weeks ago, Patsy, I just can't tell you goodbye. I'll just have to say I'll see you in the morning. Well, that morning arrived for my Aunt Betty in the early hours of this past Tuesday. This past weekend, my aunt took a very, very hard downturn with some health issues. And over the weekend, just a few days ago, she began to experience severe organ failure, multiple organ failure, was in ICU there in Tallahassee, Florida over the weekend, and was placed in palliative care once they realized there was nothing more that they could do. My cousin, her only child, and one of the three, my sister and I, and then my cousin, that's it for that generation on my mom's side, was with her shortly before 2 a.m. on Tuesday when the morning came. Less than 26 full days between my mom's passing and my aunt's. The sisters were reunited, and morning came for my Aunt Betty. And I just wanted to let you know that death has hit us again. One of the last things, matter of fact, I think it was probably the last thing I said to her face to face. And it actually came up again on several phone conversations, even after we returned back to Northern Virginia. She said, now, Joby, when my time comes, will you do my service too? And I said, sure, Aunt Betty, if I'm still kicking, I didn't know that it would be 26 days later. And so I'm going to need to be away this weekend. The service is Monday morning in Tallahassee, Florida. And once again, our family and my sister and I, as well as Kathy and the boys, and my cousin, now losing his mother, have just kind of folded in that family grief cycle and said we will grieve together as we celebrate my aunt's life. She was a wonderful lady. She was a good Christian lady. She was an educator for years and loved children. And she loved us, and she loved our boys, and she loved her little granddaughter. And we rejoice with her passing and that the morning has come, and what a morning it is. I just didn't expect it to be so soon. Not surprised because of her health, but it did kind of take us a bit unawares. And so, once again, I'm going to have to be away. And Brian Jones, he will be with us during my sabbatical, starting in a couple of weeks, has agreed to step in and to preach this Sunday. The service will go on just like normal, but I'm going to need to be away. So I would, again, appreciate your prayers for our family during this time. We were pretty close. And I said to my sister and my cousin just the other day, I said, with now the passing of my Aunt Betty, I said, guys, we are now the oldest generation of that side of our family. And we need to be there. We were close. My cousin was more like a brother than a cousin to me and to my sister Ashley. We were close to our Aunt Betty. The sisters were close. And this is a part of continuing to pay tribute and to go through that grief with the passing of my mom. And so we'll be away, and thank you for your understanding. We'll be back for Sunday the 27th. It'll be the last message that I have prior to my sabbatical. Now, we'll have a couple of more of these next week. I'll do another midweek minutes, and then one, even that week that the office is closed, I'll do one final kind of Happy New Year and giving you a few other details of what you can expect for communication, office operations, and pastoral ministry needs for the months that are ahead. So again, we will see you on Sunday. We'll be perhaps connecting just like you, either in real time or in delay. Join with us for worship on Sunday, and then I'll see you again next week in next week's Christmas week edition of our Midweek Minutes. Thank you for your prayers, your love, and support. We love you. Have a great rest of the week.